That was a good Thanksgiving. Sure puts me in the mood for the holidays. Well, it's this time of year that I really kind of start to miss home. I mean, home is what the holidays are all about. I don't know. Erie's great, but when it comes to Christmases, you just can't beat a North Dakota Christmas. All that snow. I mean, here in Erie, we hardly have any snow. No snow. I wonder if there's any way I could bring a little bit of that white Christmas here to Erie.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where those treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Then I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops listen and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write.
Nah. Sarah would be pissed if I toilet papered the whole apartment. Anyways, welcome to your DFL Playoff Race preview. Now, with how complicated and complex this year's playoff race is, I'm not even sure where to begin in covering it. Lucky for me, Sports Illustrated already has. I don't know if you guys are subscribers, but the DFL has become a pretty big deal. So, with that being said, I'm going to flip to page 73 here and just set up my Sports Illustrated right there. Yep, perfect. And I will now begin to cover this year's race for the playoffs. First game we're going to look at is Dr. X's and O's versus the Raging Marmots. This game really doesn't mean anything to Dr. X's and O's, considering he's already claimed a spot in the playoffs. However, with the win, he could take over the #1 seed, secure his bye, and the weakest of opponents. On the other hand, Raging Marmots, this game kind of puts them on a highway to the danger zone. And with that being said, if Raging Marmots happens to lose this game, all of a sudden he drops in contention to falling out of the playoffs completely. That's right, Raging Marmots. You could potentially fall from 4th place all the way out of the playoffs if Ike and Jory both win and have more points than you. Let's hope for your sake that doesn't happen. Next game is Michael Swervin versus Brosy Forshenko's. This is a must-win game for Jory and Michael Swervin. Unfortunately, Brosy Forshenko's already out of the playoff hunt. However, if Jory wins this game and has enough points, he has a chance of crawling into the playoffs. The Big Dabowski versus the Long Hair Don't Care. Similar to the last matchup, one of these teams already out of the playoffs. That's the Big Dabowski. Sorry, Big Cat. But I appreciate you still trying your hardest to make this game competitive with your moves in the free agency this last week. And it's a good thing you are, because Long Hair Don't Care, Ike, needs to win this game. He's in the same position as Jory. If he wins this game, it all comes down to points for his final chance to get into the playoffs. Hypercats versus Mike Shanahanigans. This is probably this week's only throwaway game. Hypercats will more than likely stay in 3rd place. Unless Raging Marmots wins, then Hypercats could fall to 4th or even 5th place. Nope, statistically impossible for them to fall to 5th place. However, Hypercats, Mike Shanahanigans, throwaway game. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Finally, Wanted Dead or Alive versus Mind Crimes. Wanted Dead or Alive needs to win this game to secure her spot as the #1 seed and hope that Dr. X's Nose doesn't win. On the other hand, Mind Crimes unfortunately sees his season come to an end, will not be able to make the playoffs, but I'm sure we'll see him back again next year. Now, the game of the week comes down to this. Fighting Sue versus the Brady Bunch. The reason this is such a huge game is because right now we have 4 teams in the league with a record of 6-6. Fighting Sue is in 5th place, Brady Bunch is in 6th place, Long Hair Don't Care in 7th place, and Michael Swervin in 8th place. All 4 of these teams are clamoring for the last 2 spots in the playoffs. For all 4 of them, it's win to get in. However, with Bronson and Cal playing each other, odds are the loser of this game is out of the playoffs depending on how the points fall. So for these 2 teams, it's do or die. Looking at the matchup right now, Yahoo predicts that Cal's going to win this game by 1 point. Less than 1 point. It could not be any closer. Like I said, the biggest game of the season. Looking at Cal's roster, he's going with Colin Kaepernick as his quarterback. Could be a risky move, but Cal's been making moves all throughout the second half of the season, which has put him in the position right now to secure a spot in the playoffs. Cal's also going to hope for big games from Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, and Chris Johnson, all 3 of whom have been staples in his entire playoff run. The Brady Bunch, on the other hand, is rolling with RG3 as he has all season. RG3's been on a hot streak lately, so is Bronson. Bronson's also going to hope that his new receiver, Cecil Shorts, continues to perform well in Jacksonville. And also Bronson needs huge games from Jamal Charles and T.Y. Hilton in order for him to have a chance to beat Cal and sneak into the 2012 playoffs. Now, the media reached out to both of these teams to try to get a quote to see how they felt about the upcoming matchup. Cal Seiler released this comment from the locker room of the Fighting Sioux. In the beginning, I was questioned for my draft strategy, drafting Gronkowski and Vic so high. My record was not good, and quite frankly, I was distracted by shooting 4-legged animals with horns. But now my intention is focused on winning. Reggie Wayne and Chris Johnson have woke up, I have the best pickup of the year, and Doug Martin, and of course the bold move of Colin Kaepernick has launched me into contention for the playoffs. I also have Alfred Morris on the bench, so I feel great about my chances of making the playoffs for the 2nd straight year. Now, on the other side of this war of words, Bronson and Bali and the Brady Bunch made this comment. RG3 will lead my new crop of wide receivers into battle and victory, busting skulls and taking names. Sorry, Cal, but I have to play the part of Heartbreaker. Watch out, 5th seed. So there you have it. The battle lines are drawn, the playoff picture is all sorts of mixed up, and we're going to have to wait till Tuesday morning to see what the DFL is going to look like for the next couple weeks. For all of us here in my kitchen, this has been your commissioner. Thanks for tuning in.
Our 12 for 12 manager biographies return this week with Robbie Volk, a.k.a. the Big Tebowski. Now, I haven't known Robbie for too terribly long, and therefore haven't built up too many memories with him. He's always just kind of been that guy next door. However, I will say that the beauty of this league is that it has allowed me to create memories with many of you. For Robbie Volk, it has created my favorite memory with him. As most of you have been following, Robbie Volk and the Big Tebowski has been the storyline of this season. None other team has ever seen such a string of bad luck. And to me, that's a great memory, because I'm not the one with the bad luck. However, I do appreciate Robbie Volk being a good sport, and I do appreciate the competitiveness that the Big Tebowski continues to bring to this league, and will continue to bring to this league. I assure you of that. With no other pauses, I give you the Big Tebowski, Mr. Robbie Volk.
Hello, hello, hello.
Start of the end of the world, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. Now I wonder what my life is gonna mean if it's gone. The cars are moving like a half a mile an hour, and I started staring at the passengers and waving goodbye. Can you tell me what was ever really special about me all this time? But I believe the world is burning to the ground. Oh,